So a couple other things we're going to want to do. We want to make sure that this .env file doesn't get committed in our Git repo. So we're going to want to add to or create a Gitignore if we haven't already created one. So that will look like this. We'll make a new file here. We're going to call it .gitignore. So the dot makes it hidden, all one word, Gitignore. And here we can just have a list, everything on a different line of files or folders we want to exclude. So we can simply put the file name .env on one of the lines. This is the only one here. If you've got a .gitignore, you can add it on a line. You know, you might want to exclude as well. I'm going to do this. Let's exclude node modules. I don't want that loading in our Git repository because that's just a bunch of extra bloat that we don't need. It's going to take up too much space, can cause issues when we're pushing to GitHub. So there we go. .env and node modules. And now, if we go to our terminal and we do a git status, it's going to show we've modified our server.js. We've created a new Gitignore, but it's ignoring the .env. It's not going to put it in our project. All right, so let's git add -uppercase A. Great. And now git status again. And we can see as well, Gitignore added, server.js updates are added. I'm going to git commit -m. And I'm going to say moves MongoDB connection string out to .env file. There we go. So that's all committed and ready to go. If I push this up to GitHub, .env is not going to be in there. It's not going to show up. So our key is private, and any other API keys, passwords, info we put in there are going to remain private. So if someone else on your team, some other developer wants to clone this down and work with it, they're going to need to be able to create their own .env file, and they're going to have to put these exact key names and correct values in there to get it to work. So that's our standard practice. We'll make sure this isn't part of the repo. It's a separate process outside, and I'll often put that in my README. I'll put a README that says create a .env file and add MongoDB_URI equals, and then put your Atlas connection string in there and any other info that a developer would need to get this to work. So there we have it. We've added .env to our project. We've protected our API keys, and now this is ready to push to GitHub, and we'll safely ignore the .env file.